Hi, welcome everybody. Thanks for joining us for our Hot August Happy Hours. My name is Ethan Fletcher. I'm the food editor for Diablo magazine. This is, believe it or not, our fourth virtual happy hour, and it's all based on this feature cover story I did for the August issue. And I kind of profiled 5 cocktails at 5 great outdoor East Bay venues and bars, and we've talked to a few places so far. Last week was Marseille, and this week we're bringing in Nido and Nido's Backyard, and they're going to be telling us about sort of the classic Margarita, one of my favorite summer cocktails. Just a couple of tips. I did just want to say a word about the wildfires. Hope everybody's staying safe and sound and healthy out there, and also to everybody down on the Gulf Coast with Hurricane Laura. It seems like every day there's another natural disaster, so kind of leads me into my next story, which is the lead of that was I think we could all use a stiff drink, and the idea behind the story was being able to enjoy a nice summer cocktail, something simple that you can make at home, or that you can go to one of these venues that have these great outdoor spaces and enjoy it in person. So one of the first places I thought of was Nido's Backyard. It's a new place down in sort of near Jack London Square in Oakland, and today we'll be talking to the co-owner of Nido and Nido's Backyard, Cory McCollow, and then also the lead bartender there, Alejandro Vasquez. And so I'll welcome those two in right now. Hi guys, how you doing?
Hi Ethan, how are you? Thanks for the opportunity.
No problem. Thanks for participating in the story. Well, so Cory, before we get started up on mixing our drinks, maybe you can tell me a little bit about Nido's Backyard. And I guess it goes back to sort of, you have to go back to Nido. How long ago did you open that venue? This is your second, Nido Backyard is your second restaurant, right? It
is, yep. It's quite literally Nido's backyard. You know, a thousand yards away. It did take 6 years of planning, 5 to 6 years of planning to get it open, ironically. Wow. So it was an idea we had like after the second year of Nido, but it just took a lot longer than we thought to get open. But we're glad we finally got there. And what serendipitous, sad, and fortunate, all the adjective timing that we're open right now. So.
Yeah, and how long were you open before sort of this summer? When did you guys open the backyard?
So we opened almost a year ago, Labor Day week. So like right after Labor Day last year. So we got about 2 months of, Bay Area summer weather. And then we hit a month of rain, and then we got a nice January and February, and then we got COVID and wildfires, and it's been quite a ride.
Yeah, it's kind of like what's next. But I mean, the wonderful thing about the backyard, obviously, you've got this great outdoor space. Can you tell me a little bit about sort of the vision for it? Because it was kind of quite a vision. I mean, it was originally just a parking lot, right?
It was, yeah. So Sylvia, my wife, the co-owner, the real boss, she and I used to live in Texas, and this was actually the first vision for Nido, was this space. So this idea, more of an outdoor ice house that we would go to and love in Texas. We just didn't have the space or the means to do it. So that's why we found the smaller Nido space. But yeah, the backyard is made of 18 shipping containers, all on a vacant parking lot, right across the street from the estuary.
That's great. And you were telling me that I interviewed Misan from Marseille, and she has a similar setup. You said you guys had the same supplier for the shipping containers. Yeah, in a roundabout way, the shipping containers are the at least the kitchen portions. They came from the same place and served the same means prior to their second incarnation. Yeah. And tell me a little bit about the difference between Nido and Nido's Backyard. The Nido's Backyard obviously is a little bit more cocktail, drinks oriented. Is that right? Yeah, I think the main difference right now is that Nido's Backyard is open and Nido's closed. That's a big one, yeah. But we're hoping to open Nido within the first week or two in September. Great.
get that to-go program back, reintroduce the guests who I know have missed the familiar Nido. But the biggest difference besides it being primarily outdoor and the space that it has, it is more of a, ironically, it was meant for larger crowds, but now we're crowds of 6. But just more of a fun, laid back atmosphere, open spaces, kind of shared plates, everything, and kind of come and go as you please. Whereas Nido is, as most people have been to and are aware of, it's a little more refined, still homey and casual, but execution plating wise, we just take a little more time there because it's, we have 12 tables as opposed to 60 tables. So just a different way of executing still amazing food and drink.
Yeah, absolutely. A little bit about the food. I think I talked to you or Sylvia right before you guys opened, and I remember kind of a funny story. Didn't she start out just cooking in your guys' kitchen, like in your apartment in Oakland before you guys started up Nido?
Yeah, before Nido, we were cooking with an electric stove and just delivering meals to people within our apartment complex, and then expanded a few blocks, just trying that organic guerrilla marketing before we could get Nido open. So it was kind of come full circle now. It seems like putting things in boxes again to go. But.
Yeah, absolutely. And let's see, and you guys are planning to open pretty soon. It's going to coincide with a couple of other events, right? Can you tell me a little bit about that?
Yeah, if things time up right, we will be open in time for Mezcal Week, which is coming up. Also Oakland Cocktail. It used to be Oakland Cocktail Week. Now it's Oakland Cocktail, more like Cocktail Month. So we'll have that, and then there's also Oakland Summer Version Restaurant Week. So there's a lot of things happening that we're hoping to get Nido on the tail end of at least a few of those events, and the backyard will be here participating in all of them. And I'd be remiss to not mention that, as you brought up at the beginning with the wildfires, we had the shaky winds and air at the beginning of the week. We were fortunate enough to stay open. We're donating proceeds from our sales this entire week to the Northern California Red Cross to help out where we can, because we do recognize that it's hard enough what everyone that's going through this is going through, and then it's just a little bit that we can do, being fortunate enough to stay open, at some level during all of this. So.
Right. Well, that's great. Thank you very much. I'm sure people will appreciate that. That'll give people just one more motivation to go down and check it out. I did want to ask you, one of my favorite features of the backyard is that wonderful sort of colorful striped pathway that leads into the garden. How did that idea come about?
Yeah, so that our dear friend and amazing designer, John De La Cruz from DLCID, who's done a lot of way more fancy famous restaurants than us. We're very lucky that he's a friend of ours. He just one night over drinks at Nido mentioned, well, you have such a big space, you should just do a serape, which is a traditional Mexican blanket, and the pattern across the front of your bar. I was like, well, why don't we just try and submit a world record for the world's longest painted serape? And that led to us finding a local muralist to do the entire thing. It's multiple 100 feet, and we did submit, which we finally heard back that that's not a category, so we weren't eligible, but we tried. But anyway, that's how it came about.
It's great. It's a very sort of follow the road into the garden.
Follow the serape, yeah.
Exactly. And just a little bit about the food. Your wife Sylvia is the chef. Can you tell me a little bit about what sort of her philosophy is on the food and kind of where you source the ingredients?
Yeah, so she shares chef duties with Chef Jose Ramos, who has been with us at Nido in the past as well, and sous chef Alejandro Rodriguez Garcia, both dear friends, very talented individuals. So between the three of them, they kind of pick and choose which dish they want to try next or what they want to tackle. But primarily, it's the food is not one region of Mexico. as the three of them are from three different areas. So we kind of piecemeal together recipes from them, from their families, and things they want to do. So we don't call ourselves, you know, Yucatan coast. We don't call ourselves Oaxacan. We're a little bit of everything.
Yeah, just good food, right?
Yeah, I mean, a prime example is we put, after fighting, Sylvia and I, amongst ourselves about putting a burger on the menu. We have a burger on the menu called the 3 a.m. in San Miguel, which is quite literally the translation of the burger we would always get in San Miguel de Allende at 3 a.m. at this little stand. And it's so simple, but so good. We're like, we can't not do that. So, you know,
that's great.
We let the menu be a little more playful than what Nido is.
Right. That's something that kind of, Nido, the backyard lets you be a little bit more casual with that kind of stuff.
Yeah, we have a burrito after 8 years of where's the burrito at Nido questions. We have a backyard burrito, and so fish tacos, all the things we kept saying no to at Nido. We have.
Yeah. Have you put any of Nido's menu items on the backyard menu?
During the takeout only, when we weren't allowed to do outdoor dining, that first pivot, we kind of had everything on the menu because we had food from both places to go through. We've kept a few versions. So our chicken mole quesadilla from Nido and an iteration is here. One of our salads is still here, but for the most part, it's a different menu. And now, thankfully, by design, so that we can delineate between the two as we open Nido back up.
Right. Well, congratulations on Nido, and I think it's about time to pivot over to Alejandro and talk about
enough of the boring
Margarita
stuff. Yeah, let's have fun.
let's get drinking.
Yeah.
Hey, Alejandro, how you doing?
How you doing, brother?
Good. How's it going over there?
We're doing great. Just sunny, beautiful day. It's just like, I love them. And then, I usually work inside of one of those shipping containers, and it's not sun hitting my face, but now it's the sun hitting my face. It feels lovely. I don't know why.
Get a little vitamin D. That's good.
That means we need something refreshing, kind of,
Exactly. Well, tell me a little bit about the margarita. To me, like, I came from when I came from New England and I moved to California, and I kind of just rediscovered the margarita. It seems like it's kind of the official state drink during the summer. Can you tell me a little bit about what you love about it and kind of the different flavors and why you think it's so great?
I think it's great because it's just like super simple. It's a drink that, I'm Mexican. I'm from Mexico City. It's a drink that you always, when you go to your friend's barbecue, you always like make fresh margaritas, and it's like I mentioned before, it's so simple. Just 3 ingredients. You just bring limes, some sugar, and the tequila, and then you make it there. In this case, sometimes we bring the blenders, so we make blended versions of that. So it's just very simple and refreshing, like I say, coming from Mexico and knowing a lot of friends from Guadalajara and Jalisco, like I got used to it really quick of just drinking tequila. So it's just always like margaritas or little caballitos. That's what we call, like little shots of tequila in this case. Sorry. So it just reminds me a lot of back home carne asada with family. It's just like also like a drink that grabs family together. Because obviously any of my family or any of my friends were like a wine people. Like a lot of people just like drink wine with food. Now we drink tequila with food. Margaritas when you are doing carne asada for tacos. So it's just like, it is also refreshing. It's refreshing. If you use the right ingredients, it's just gonna be clean and fresh all day for sure. Yeah,
I mean, it's obviously, we'll get into the tequila now. I guess it's, I came from New England, and, growing up as, up there, I my only experience with tequila was Jose Cuervo and Pepe Lopez with salt and a lime, because it tasted so bad. I wanted to get the taste out of my mouth, and it wasn't until I came to California that I realized that was not the typical tequila experience. Can you tell me a little bit about what kind of sort of good tequila and what you guys source at Nido?
Yeah, I mean, every tequila changes, depends on the distillation process. as well as where the piñas are located or where the piñas are harvested. That's why they have the lowlands and the highlands of tequilas. Usually lowlands are kind of like close to the coast, so those tequilas are gonna be a little more like a kind of like a peppery or a little more like salty than highlands. Highlands are usually on the sweeter side because in highlands is usually like a lot of fruit trees.
Interesting.
The flavor profile changing just because of the air, how the agaves are cultivated and what's around the agaves. Because a lot of those agave plants, they absorb flavors from around the area as well as the soil.
Interesting.
And this, and obviously like tequila, obviously it's a few versions of tequila, like the mixto. So the mix is gonna be like 50% at least of blue agave, and then the other 50% is gonna be a mix of different alcohol. Obviously, those are the tequilas that when you drink a shot, it's gonna hurt you all the way to your stomach because those are really harsh and strong and fiery. Again, the difference of 100% blue agave. Also, flavor profiles. Another things that change is if it's aged, especially on a blanco tequila. Obviously, they could be aged less than 2 months, and also that changed a little bit of the flavor profile of a blanco tequila. But that's pretty much it. The tequila that we have is it's on the sweeter side. It's super good. I can explain that, but I don't know if you have any other questions before that.
Yeah, no, I'm just curious. How many tequilas do you guys carry there?
Right now we are looking at like 12 different brands. 12 tequilas.
Great. Must be fun research for you.
Yeah, well, definitely. We have a few of the favorite brands. Obviously, Fortaleza, Siete Leguas, and Ocho. I think a lot of people are familiar with those brands. Cimarron is kind of like the best tequila for the well, in my own experience. It's kind of like I say, it's on the sweeter side, and it works perfect with cocktails, not just margaritas, but since it already has a little sweetness to it, it works with like every type of cocktail that you want to play with. So yeah, we have a higher brand. We have one tequila that is mixed with reposado, añejo, and extra añejo, so mixed together. It's pretty expensive for one shot, but it's a beautiful thing. Stuff like that.
Great. Well, I think we're ready to get going. Why don't you tell me a little bit about the tequila we're using today, and tell me about the steps of putting it together.
Sure. So basically, we have Cimarron. This tequila, the master distiller, he found a technique that when he crushes the agaves, he doesn't add any water to it, right? So when you don't add water, when you are crushing the agaves, obviously the sugar content on the maceration of those agaves are going to be high, and that means like a lot of more alcohol, a lot of more sweetness to it. And then also this goes straight to the bottle from the distillation, so it's not aging on this tequila. That's where the sweet notes come from, because it's a lot more sugar content on the tequila. Delicious. So I'm using Cimarron. Obviously, I got prepared with my fresh squeezed lime juice, and here at Nido we use honey.
Oh, really?
Those gonna be my 3 ingredients for my margarita. You wanna start?
Yeah, no, go ahead, lead me through. And then as far as the ice, you recommend sort of, I think you said 1-inch cubes, the bigger the better.
Yeah. Okay. It's basically like it works for two things. You're gonna enjoy the flavor of your margarita more time. I think you're gonna drink it faster because it's a little less dilution with the ice. But all the margarita is gonna taste pretty much the same since the first sip. That's why I like more like a solid cubes, because they don't melt quick. So yeah, in this case, we're using those cubes that I mentioned to you. I like to shake my margarita first, and then I pour it over clean cubes. It's two other techniques that you just shake and dirty pour into the glass, but I like to use clean cubes on my shaking and on my glass. So obviously I'm gonna prepare my glass. I'm just gonna put salt on it because salt is important. And
any particular kind of salt that you use? Does it matter?
No, it's just basically salt. No, kosher salt is basically what we use. A we have a couple of different cocktails that we use a mixture between Hawaiian volcanic salt, like that black salt, and then we mix it with hibiscus salt. That salt goes in one of our specialty cocktails.
That's cool.
So in this case, it's just like kosher salt. So obviously, the recipe of our house margarita is gonna be 2 ounces of cimarron. And then we want to use 1 full ounce of fresh squeezed lime juice.
Okay. What's that in the background, Alejandro?
Yes, sir. And then I have just half an ounce of my honey.
Okay.
We basically dilute our honey like 50-50, 50 honey, 50 water.
Okay.
So we don't want our margarita to be too sweet. So we just do like a little half an ounce.
And you say, I know Cory said you guys transitioned from using agave syrup. Why was that?
Well, right now the laws are changing. It used to be because they kill more agaves just to get the agave syrup, and then now the laws are changing in Mexico. Now it's a little more reforestation, right? So a lot of brands are just like grabbing one agave from earth and then planting 2. So everything is changing. I think everything is becoming better and better about tequila production and mezcal production. So, but yeah, we definitely like just the honey, and that's kind of like the standard recipe of Nido's and Nido's backyard. So they adopt that like I would say like probably 5 years ago when they changed to honey, and I think it's just like gives a little like flavor, like really good flavor to it.
Right. Yeah, it's a kind of a familiar flavor for a lot of people. And for the you mix it up with the water so it can kind of dilute the drink or mix up with the drink a little bit better. Is that right? Yeah.
Because if you use straight honey, obviously with the cold cubes, it just gets really too hard and it doesn't mix well. So that's why when we make our honey, we boil water and then we put the actual bottles of honey in the water. So it gets just like really soft inside, and then we just mix it with hot water. Very simple.
Okay. And you can use agave syrup obviously if you have that. And
agave syrup, or just one thing that I usually have at home because I don't have that much ingredients at home as well. I just make simple syrup and I use orange bitter.
Okay.
So I just do like
orange bitter. Okay.
Yeah.
And what about triple sec? Do you ever use that? Is that something you guys ever use?
We use that in a few of our cocktails. But we don't use that on our margarita. I think like triple sec. I mean, obviously, if you go back in time, the original recipe of margarita is just triple sec, lime and tequila. It wasn't any agave, it wasn't any sugar, simple syrup, honey. It was just triple sec, lime and tequila.
Right.
So obviously, like if you want to focus on the true recipe, obviously you need triple sec. So like time change, bartenders are getting more involved with like different type of sugars, variation of syrup and stuff, and then you just create a new margarita. But I don't mind triple sec, but I just like for Cadillacs only, just like a little float of triple sec, and then
it adds another flavor dimension. This is a little bit more simple. It seems like. All right, you ready?
We're ready. Perfect. Yeah.
All right. Whew. You've done that before, Alejandro.
Just one a few times.
And you recommend a rocks glass for this?
Yeah, I use basically bucket glass, and then I use obviously like fresh squeezed lime juice, salt, new cubes, and then just like a little lime, and then that's ready to go.
Nice. It looks beautiful. Well, can I offer you a little toast here? Thanks for putting this together, and cheers.
Thank you. Cheers. Thank you.
Oh, delicious.
I'm in heaven.
Is that tasting good on your end?
Definitely. I just need a chair and then someone with like a little give me air.
Fan you a little bit. Yeah, we'll see what we can do. Get Cory out here. Come on. What's he doing?
Right. What is Cory? Yeah, let me see if he can. Oh, right there. He's hiding. He likes to hide. I don't know why. He doesn't like to talk too much.
He's arranging everything behind the scenes. That's good. So I know you so you had another recipe for us as well. What was the other cocktail?
Yeah. Cory's right here. But yeah, we can talk about the other recipe if you want. Here's Cory.
Hello. Oh, hey, Cory. Alejandro was drinking his cocktail, and he said he needed somebody to fan him while he was sitting down. I thought maybe you could do that.
With an agave. Agave leaf.
Exactly. Well, Cory, why don't you take us through? Do you want to take us through the next margarita?
Oh yeah, you put me on the spot. What else are we doing?
The picosa.
The picosa. Okay.
Let's see if he remembers.
Yeah. So,
little pop quiz.
The picosa here at Nido and in the backyard, we either do tequila or mezcal. I think you guys did your first margarita with tequila, so we'll focus with mezcal. We have two kind of house mezcals we use, both Verde, which is the cocktail mezcal from Mezcal Amara, as well as Mezcal of Valencia. So, pending the profile you're looking for, is a little cleaner, one's a little smokier. We love them both. We kind of use them interchangeably in all of the house cocktails. So, not knowing which brand ambassador is watching, I will
just cover your bases. And the mezcal obviously has that smoky taste to it. How does that how does that get into the flavor profile?
Yeah, so a lot of people, sadly, they call mezcal the scotch of tequila, which is, we can say accurate, but I guess it works for the initial discussion. So, in layman's terms, the agaves they're roasted, they're cooked underground. So that's what brings out, without going long story about it, that's what brings out the smokiness of that compared to cooking them above ground in ovens like you would the agave portion here. So homemade earthen oven is what helps get that.
Okay. Great. And what else is in the is it called the picoso, you said, or picoso?
Yeah, la picosa. So almost literal translation to spicy.
Okay. And where does the spicy come from?
So we do a house-made chipotle liqueur, which is probably not the easiest thing that you're watching you're going to want to do. The easiest thing, and I don't know what you plan to do. The easiest thing.
I see some jalapenos there.
Is to take jalapeno or serrano.
There you go.
Yeah.
Cut a few of those up. Put them in your mixing pan. You can, depending on how spicy you want it, you can either give it a quick muddle, gonna soak the seeds a little more, or you can just a vigorous shake with the rest of the margarita ingredients, and you're gonna feel it enough. It'll get your throat just enough.
Great. Well, I think I won't do the muddling because I'm a little bit of a wimp when it comes to spice, so I'll just do the shake. And what's the?
So our chipotle liqueur, chipotle along with orange peel and añejo tequila, and we sous vide or we cook that for a few hours to extract all of the chipotle and the orange flavor. Strain out the peppers, obviously, and then we add brown sugar. Sweeten it back to make it an actual liqueur.
Wow, so it's got that kind of roasted chili flavor to it.
Yeah, and like I kind of baking spice molasses sweetening with the brown sugar.
Sounds great.
Nice. I would say another option for the at-home bartenders is Ancho Reyes. It's a chili liqueur that is not very good. And generally semi-readily available at Total Wine.
Okay, great. And I think were you saying you can actually steep tequila or mezcal with jalapenos as well, or with the rest of it?
Yep, that was version 1.0 actually for the Rocky Coast Nido 7-8 years ago.
Yeah.
We found the problem with that was that we were going through it so much, we were having to redo the chilies. The chilies, being what they are, they're not always the same level of heatness. You know, the heat levels are vary from chili to chili, or definitely from batch to batch. So it would just never be the same. The drink would get sent back like way too spicy, and there was no way to kind of control that. So that's why we were doing it
with the liqueur. That makes sense. Okay, cool. Well, so what are the ratios for the drink?
So we'll be doing 2 ounces of mezcal.
Okay.
One ounce of fresh lime.
Okay. And for like a typical lime, how much is that? About an ounce? Is that right?
Full lime, yeah.
Yeah, a whole lime. Yeah.
Okay, cool. So if you're just eyeballing it, you can just do 1 lime and put it in there.
Yeah, I'd love to hire you if you want to, like, a second job. It's you and squeeze each lime for each drink.
Talking about drinks getting sent back, you'll have plenty of those. And you put the honey in there as well?
Yeah, half ounce.
Good. And we did have a question about how you make the honey dilution. It's just half and half, 1 to 1, and then do you put it in hot water? Is that right? Mix it up?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay, great. All right. And is that it? Anything else?
Well, I'm going to do the chipotle liqueur, so
right.
I would say use your best judgment on how many peppers you want in there. And then we make a chili salt for the garnish of this margarita.
Oh, great.
So that's a blend of a few different brands of chili. So chili de arbol, paprika, and regular kosher salt, all kind of smashed up together.
Great. Just another level of heat to it.
Yep.
All right.
All right.
All right, let's do it.
Race you.
All right. I feel like I'm auditioning for a job.
Yep.
All right. All right. Well,
let's do it for the picture.
Yeah, we got.
Beautiful.
We'll garnish with chipotle pepper.
It's a cover shot. Cheers, Cory. I appreciate it.
Cheers. Yeah. Cheers, guys.
Woo. Yeah. Yeah. I'm glad I didn't muddle it. I'd be coughing on.
Spicy enough.
Right. Yeah.
Right.
Well, that's beautiful. Well, thank you very much for taking the time to guide us through that. Thanks for participating in the cover story, and I just encourage everybody to go down and check out Nido's backyard. It's an absolutely beautiful spot and a perfect spot for margarita. So, cheers, guys.
Thank you, guys.
Thursday.
Thank you. Happy Thursday. Bye.
Take
Cheers.
care. Yeah.
Thank
Bye.
you. Bye.